I want my life to be like an 80s movie. Preferably one with a really awesome musical number.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today, we're counting down our picks for those well-known and sometimes overused storytelling devices that we see coming a mile away, but can't help but love it every time.
Can't take my eyes off of you.
Number 10. The Mentor's Sacrifice. The mentor figure is an important part of many heroes' journeys. Unfortunately for them, their story often ends with a death, sacrificing themselves for the one they've been guiding.
Maggie, don't leave me.
I love you. I'll always be with you. We all have a power, and it grows when it is shared.
A perfect example of this, of course, can be found in Star Wars. Obi-Wan allows himself to be killed by Vader, thus giving Luke and company time to escape. And while this may be a trope we've come to expect, we'll also admit it gets us every time. Tell us you don't tear up during Armageddon when Harry decides to die, so that AJ can live happily ever after with his daughter.
Take care of yourself. Harry, no! I love you. Harry, I love you! Don't, Harry, wait a minute!
Number 9. Cliche Villains. Whether for selfish or altruistic reasons, some of the most memorable villains in film history have been the ones that fall into this cliched trope.
Where are you going, Brain?
Back to the cage to plan for tomorrow night.
Why? What are we gonna do tomorrow night?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Indeed, so many of cinema's greatest bad guys have global domination as their ultimate goal. They're also not subtle or low-key about it in any way, but there's something about the over-the-top nature of it all that always ends up being compelling.
In a few hours, the United Nations will receive my Yuletide greetings. The information that I now possess the scientific means to control or to destroy the economy of the whole world.
One obvious take on this trope would no doubt be Blofeld from a number of James Bond movies, and his satirical counterpart, Dr. Evil, in the Austin Powers films. The MCU's Thanos takes it even further, with his plan to reduce the population in order to ensure the universe's survival.
This universe is finite, its resources finite. If life is left unchecked, life will cease to exist. It needs correction.
You don't know that!
I'm the only one who knows that.
Number 8. The Last-Minute Rescue. Yes, sometimes the hero of the movie dies, but for the most part, we know that the main characters will make it to the end credits alive and well, especially if they're played by big stars.
Lyle is a big doofus. Poor George was really shot but can't die because, let's face it, he's the hero.
Generally, when we see our leads in peril, on the precipice of certain doom, we can't help but expect a last-minute rescue. Remember the aliens saving Woody, Buzz, and the gang from a fiery fate? It isn't just kids' movies either. Near the end of The Rock, Nick Cage's character looks to have met his end after a bomb hits the island. That is, until Sean Connery's Mason rushes to his rescue. And it isn't even always another person doing the saving. Thank you, T-Rex, in Jurassic Park. Number 7. The Montage.
We have to make you a complete soldier in very little time.
How are we gonna do that?
I think I know just what we need.
It takes longer than a few minutes to get a full makeover, prepare for the biggest boxing match of our lives, or become a great dancer. But thanks to the magic of the montage, all movies need are a couple of minutes, a good song, and voila!
Well, the Plum Balenciaga, the Peach Chloe, the John Batista, all the Bottegas, with that Jason Wu with the deconstructed ruffles.
And a sandwich for Peitlin.
Of course we expect it, but the moment that music begins, you can't tell us a smile doesn't appear on your face. The montage is such a wonderfully cliche and iconic movie trope that Pam Brady, Trey Parker, and Matt Stone honored it brilliantly with its own song in their 2004 puppet comedy, Team America: World Police.
Anything if you want to go from just a beginner to a pro, you need a montage.
Number 6. Love at First Sight.
Did my heart love till now? Forswear its sight, for I never saw true beauty till this night.
It's the idea of laying eyes on someone and knowing instantly that you're meant to be with them. We're not talking lust at first sight, but rather true, deep, everlasting, Love. It's the stuff of fairy tales and so many movies.
10 minutes ago I saw you. I looked up when you came through the door. My head started reeling, you gave me the feeling the room had no ceiling or floor.
When Romeo and Juliet see each other through the fish tank, nothing else matters. Time stops for Edward Bloom when he sees Sandra in Big Fish. 10 Things I Hate About You's Cameron can't focus on anything else once he lays eyes on Bianca.
I burn, I pine, I perish.
Of course you do.
This is as much a trope as it is something many long to find. That's why we love it. Seeing it in the movies gives us hope that we can experience it one day in real life. Number 5. Grand Romantic Gesture. Think about your favorite romantic comedies. What do so many of them have in common? Of course, it's the grand romantic gesture, often at the end, sometimes doubling as an apology.
You can't just buy me a guitar every time you screw up, you know.
Yeah, I know. But then, there's always drums and bass and maybe even one day a tambourine.
Airports are a favorite location for these moments, as are crowded areas more generally. Sometimes it's a dual effort by both parties, as we see in Crocodile Dundee, when Sue races after Dundee and professes her love with some help, and he literally walks over a crowd to get to her. Now, people might disagree with using the term romantic to explain the cue cards in Love Actually, and that's fair, but there's no denying the grand gesture that is learning another language to win over the love of your life.
Sai che sei louco, porque mal te conheço, mas às vezes as coisas são muito claras para mim.
Number 4. Bad guys are terrible shots.
Loose ends.
Rather than needing a last-minute savior, sometimes the hero can simply rely on the terrible aim of the bad guys to save his life. In The Matrix, Neo has to manipulate time to avoid the bullets. Yet, in John Wick Chapter 2, the protagonist is pursued by multiple shooters down a tunnel, but they mostly hit the wall and the dirt at his feet. In Bad Boys 2, Martin Lawrence and Will Smith's characters hit almost everything they aim at, while the villains, shooting at close range with shotguns, can barely hit anything. So why do we love this one? Because if this trope didn't exist, it would probably mean the hero getting killed and the movie ending pretty quickly.
It's a lot of cop work for nothing.
Take your ass home somewhere.
Number 3. Big dance number.
Hey, what's this I see? I thought this was a party. Let's dance!
If you're anything like us, this is one predictable trope you hope for and love seeing happen. Often found in rom-coms, the dance number can start off slow and awkward and build into a big group dance, like in 13 Going on 30. It can also start off as one man's happy day and burst out into a flash mob, like in 500 Days of Summer. Let's also not forget about the big finale dance number a la the 40-Year-Old Virgin. Unfortunately, we rarely get the chance to bust out our moves like this in real life, but we sure enjoy seeing it in the movies. Number 2. Age change.
Make my wish right. I wish I were big.
Whether helped by a janitor on a bridge, a Zoltar machine, or magic wishing dust, the characters in 17 Again, Big, and 13 Going on 30 all magically become younger or older versions of themselves in practically an instant, and we love it every time. Children trying to be adults, and adults trying to be kids. It's a classic fish out of water story, except it's the fish that's changed more than the water.
I like your dress. It's because I've got these incredible boobs to fill it out.
You might think you're a mature kid or a cool grown-up, but when you're dropped directly into enemy territory, it probably wouldn't be as easy as you think. So while it's been done again and again in film, it's fun watching characters figure it out.
What are you eating? I don't even know. I just know I'm hungry. All the time.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Friends to lovers.
Hey, I want my best friend back because I'm in love with her.
Sometimes friends are just friends, and that's perfectly okay. But sometimes you can just tell that two people are meant to be together. They just need to figure it out for themselves. That's where the friends to lovers trope comes in.
And it's not because I'm lonely, and it's not because it's New Year's Eve. I came here tonight because when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible.
We've seen it happen multiple times on the small screen, like in Friends, with Ross and Rachel, and Monica and Chandler. There is no shortage of examples in the movies either, from Lelena and Troy in Reality Bites to Chris and Jamie in the aptly named Just Friends. No matter how often we see it unfold, we fall for this romantic trope as hard as the pals in these flicks fall for each other.
Well, how do they look?
You look good wearing my future.
Are there any awesome tropes we forgot? Let us know in the comments.
I love ordinary.
You do?
Yes.
Okay, well, I am a very ordinary guy. I'm a 7 across the board.
It's perfect.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.